Hey, what's up, everybody? I'm Michael Gillette, and this is a Let's Code. As a software developer for MarketFleet, I thought it prudent to begin with the MarketFleet Seller API. For those of you not familiar with MarketFleet, we provide plug-and-play marketplaces to retailers. Part of this process includes inventory onboarding for sellers, hence our API, and subsequently, this video. Well, enough card flashing. Let's check out what we're going to do today. This is the get products method. As the name says, it is a get method only. There are three optional parameters for this method as well. The first being staging equals true. To understand this, it's important to understand that when you add your product to the platform, it will match up with a retail product and sweep in data from that. And then on that product page, your product will then show up as well. For products that are waiting on a retail product to be added or to be loaded up, they're set into a mode called staging. So your products are still there. Staging just means that it's not viewable yet. So set this to true to return a list of those products. No total equals true. This is the next one. When paging through large sets of data, you've got over like 100,000 SKUs. Definitely set no total equals true to keep your load times down. When it's by default, it's set to false, and will provide in the response a total count of all your products. However, due to App Engine's lack of a SQL-like count, that means we have to actually page on our side through all your products each request. So if you're trying to download your entire catalog, set no total equals true. Otherwise, you're going to be in for a bad time because it is going to take a long time if you have like over 100,000 products. All right, next one is cursor. Cursor will be a string returned as a response.cursor, and it points to the next page of results. So that's about it for get products. Now, before we get jumping into some code, we first have to interact with the server. In order to do that, our server requires two things: a public key and a private key. Both the private key is used to create a signature for the request, and the public key is sent with the API call. So, as you can see here, let's see. There we go. I accidentally closed that tab. So here's our seller dashboard where your API keys can be found. This is on our sandbox environment, marketfleetdev.appspot.com. So when you guys get your open accounts, you guys will start off on this platform, get used to it, get integrated, and then once you're ready, usually within a day, or if you're faster, the same day, you'll move on to the production server and start selling your products there. Anyways, for your API keys, left-hand side API tab, click API keys. They're both right here. If these fields are empty, go ahead and click generate keys. And now that we know where this is, let's jump into our code. Oops. Take note at the top, we have our public key and private key from the page before. The server we're going to be using, the development server, and then for your convenience, the live server that you'll be hitting once you're on production. This isolated constant right here is unique to App Engine itself. As I mentioned before, for product gets, if you have total count, if you have no total equals false, that means you didn't add it. Then you might go over this time limit. And App Engine actually has 60-second limit for HTTP requests in the browser, and then it goes up to 10 minutes or 600 seconds if you make an HTTP request in a task queue. Then we got our MarketFleet error right here, just for if we run into any errors in the functions we'll be adding in the future. So here we go. Let's get started. MarketFleet takes an HTTP method, a resource, as you saw before, our API slash product slash get, and then additional parameters passed to that. Uh, for MarketFleet, we are going to need a few imports. Uh, use HMAC and hashlib to create our signature. And if you've used Amazon's Seller API before, or Merchant API before, this should look familiar. A couple other imports. Oops. All right, and actually, this is a fun thing. I love this. I actually just found out about this, and I love using it in my code. Um, dict comprehensions. So only quote the values. Don't quote the keys, which is why I'm not passing it to urllib.url encode. All right. Basically, what the above line does is it quotes the data and then skips any information that has an empty string or if the value is null. Public key. Let's create a query. So I've actually mucked up there. There you have it. There we go. So then and then all the parameters have to be byte order. So we just pass that to sorted, get the keys, uh, and create the message. The message is sent with the request, so our server knows that the request and the hash. It's basically a SHA-1 hash. It ensures the security of the request, and it's basically just a pipe delimited breakdown of the request. There we go. Let me add this to our query string. And again, this is not part of the byte order. This will be chopped off. So the key is our private key. The message is our message. And then the digest lib is SHA-256. Oops, there we go. Do not forget to hex digest it. I've done that a couple times. Myself, open up a connection. Set that timeout to be our response timeout. And normally, using App Engine, you'd use the URL fetch library. But just so everybody here, regardless of platform, this should work as well for you guys using HTTP lib. And not that it matters, because in App Engine, this is HTTP connection is just a wrapper around URL fetch, anyways. So when the response is 200, know that it's always going to be in JSON format. So it's safe to load it up as JSON. And then if not, return a likewise formatted error message. So there we go, response.status, so you can have an idea. Alright, save that. Let's see, go through that. Looks good. Let's request some products. There we go. As you can tell, this is live. I'll reload it again just to show you guys. We got a couple keys here, current count, total count, and again, I'll show you guys what happens if you pass no total equals true. As you can imagine, that just takes away total count. But I added a staging product earlier today so you guys can see what a product will look like. So there's quite a number of fields, quite a lot of information. Good stuff to have. This is the cursor to pass. This is what the cursor will look like to pass into the obviously cursor. And in the follow-up video, when I add a product to the platform, I'll go into more detail over a couple of these methods. A couple of these keys, not key names. And so, hope you guys have enjoyed. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them in the comments below or hit me up on Twitter. Again, if you guys would like to get started with the API or would like to hear more information about it, we've got solid documentation and some code samples on GitHub. And I'm going to put this on GitHub as well, this project. Anyways, if you guys need anything, go to marketfleet.com and check us out and request for a demo right here. Anyways, hope to see you guys soon and have a good one.